Yeah, well, they said so many things, and German is, I can't really understand all of it. I could understand a little bit of it. So I cannot give them criticism, but you should always, you know, take everything anybody says with a bit of salt, because also, you know, this is work from about 40 years, sort of. And that's a long time. So we had to select a certain amount of work. So, yeah, so sometimes, how can I say, you couldn't show all the different periods in an exhibition like that, like this. The titles are important, some more than others, but so the title gives you a direction in relation to my intention of choosing a certain work. For example, genetische Heimweh, it is interpreted in many ways, and the works are broad enough, like a film with an open ending, that you can have a lot of associations, because I also jump with you know, the one thing makes me think of the other, and the other makes me think of the other. For example, genetische Heimweh, I once, you know, when you come from one country and you live in another country, which many people do these days, or you think, you know, I used to think, you know, what is your how do you say? Is it, how can I, is it your destiny? Is it your fate? Do you have free will? You know, my brothers would say to me, you stay in South Africa and change the world there. Why do you want to go in Europe and try to change it there, etc.? So these things play a role. But then I read once that you can also have a longing for a place that does not exist. So it's not, so often people say, yeah, she is, you know, longing for a home, but where is that home? So you can also, anyway, so I'm trying to say, so when you look at the titles, you can also think of it sometimes in a more poetic way. So don't get too worried about if you say, I don't understand this or so. You can also have your imagination. You can't go everywhere, but it can go, you know, a bit further. But okay, I just want to say you can ask me questions because I don't know what you would like to know, but I want to say also it's a privilege to exhibit at Beyeler because, you know, I talk a lot, I write a lot, and sometimes, you know, some of the things you've said is probably all wrong, or, you know, you used to think that, but you don't think that anymore. So that's one thing, but the works are things also in themselves. They also have their own lives, and they react to the spaces that they are in, and they react to how they are placed to the works next to them, just like people do. You know, you see the one film with someone you like and you think it's really funny, and then you see it years later with another person, you think, oh no. So the exhibition is a bit like that. Therefore, it's difficult to install, because some paintings don't like one another so much. When they're next to one another, you go, oh. And yeah. So, oh yeah, but what I want to say about that, so a painting is an object, it is a thing, then it's got a sort of metaphysical thing that it's got a title, it's got all these different aspects, but it is also a material thing with color and paint. It's a formal language because you have to give it a form. And this is one of the few places that I know that has natural light for paintings, because it can really kill a painting, how the light changes it. For example, the painter, and then I'll stop talking about it, but the painter is one of my favorite works. But that painting, what is important as a painting is not so much that it's my daughter. Yes, it's my daughter, sort of alter ego, it's a female painter, all these things, but it's also a very cold color. On the catalog, it's much pinker. So she looks warmer, but the painting, what makes the painting interesting as a painting is also that there is a green, there is a coldness that makes you freeze a bit, but then the hand is red, which brings back a certain warmth. So, yeah, a child once looked at it and said, oh, this is a painting with a child with a warm hand and a cold hand. And I think if there is a tone in my better works, is this mixture of cold and warm. I mean, you can use other words for it, but if it's too hot, it can be, you know, I'm always a bit scared of crimes of passion. It's wonderful to be terribly in love, but you can also do horrible things, you know. And so you need some passion, but I also, on the other hand, you also need, I like it that you also think, you know. So anyway, so I hope this exhibition has got a bit of both. It's got the physicalness of the gestures, it's got, but it also sometimes can make you think about things. Okay? All right. Oh yeah, and just one more thing, because you mentioned the eyes of the night creatures. I'm not very good in the morning. I'm good at night. So I talk better when it gets later in the day. And also like Picasso, you know, you have the artist who's better, who is day painters and who work with more what they see. And then you have the painters like Picasso is one of them that says maybe, you know, if you can't see anything, it's better. You know, I have a little short statement where I once also say, what you can't see, you paint. So there's also, so even though it's got the photographic aspects in it that makes you think, oh, that's, you know, realistic, mostly in the end, it isn't really so realistic. Also, that's why I don't want to paint with models, because I like to be alone. Thank you. We have to have both. I mean, you show that you're exhibitionistic, but then to make the work, you also have to get away from the people again. So, anyway, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for sharing this. For a person who likes to be alone, it's very impressive. Especially, you can imagine how good she is at night if you see her during the day.